Thank you for staying with us on the Joy News Prime. Time now for the sport. I'm Gary L. Smith. And the trending story being Kwesi Nyantakyi, there's been reaction from across the country. And Kwabena Yeboah, the president of the Sports Writers Association of Ghana, is urging the GFA boss to step down, even as he said he hopes that he comes out of this free.
Very sad that Kwesi should be tainted in this manner. I personally feel sad. I don't know how others are going to feel, but there's a reason I personally also feel that probably, even at this time, it will be in his own interest to resign as the president of the Ghana Football Association. I make this point because, indeed, if what we are hearing on the announced tape are true, then a decision to continue as the president of the Ghana Football Association becomes untenable, because you know that over the years we've had serious problems of integrity and credibility about the Ghana Football Association. Right. There is a serious perception out there that this is a very corrupt outfit, you know, and there is this notion that indeed it's because of that perception of corruption that a lot of the corporate players even decided not to sponsor the league, and there's a reason we've gone 3 solid years without any sponsor for the league. So there's that perception out there to do the honorable thing and probably step aside. I don't know how this is going to pan out eventually, but I'm hoping that nothing really serious comes out, and then he can resign honorably and maybe focus on his CAF and FIFA jobs.
Meanwhile, the story has been taking international dimensions, of course, because of the man involved. Don't forget, Kwesi Nyantakyi is really respected when it comes to the international football circuit, having had several positions in the Confederation of African Football, rising to become the first vice president as we speak. He's also a FIFA Council member, which in plain terms means that he's one of the 24 most powerful men in football. So this morning, the Joy Sports team wrote to FIFA, and this was their response. This was part of their response. They said FIFA is aware of the issue. Our monitoring team are closely following this matter and seeking additional information. For the moment, we cannot comment further. So that was FIFA's response to the Joy Sports team. Looks like the BBC also corroborated that, and they got a similar response. Here's my colleague, or our colleague, Peter Okoche.
Now, I'll tell you that Kwesi Nyantakyi himself was out of the country when this story broke in Ghana last night. He's voluntarily returned to the country today, submitted himself to the police CID, and he's being interviewed at the moment. So we haven't been able to get a response from him, but we have heard from FIFA. Don't forget, he's a counterman from FIFA, and FIFA say they are watching events in Ghana very closely, but will not make further statements at the moment. But he's been president of the GFA since 2005. It was under his presidency that Ghana went to their first World Cup in 2006. They were back in 2010 and in 2014, narrowly missed out on 2018 in Russia. So he's a very influential football administrator, both in Ghana and within the continent and worldwide as well, of course.
The Ghana Premier League results are out for today. Seems like a bit of a downer after all the big hitting news stories, isn't it? But the game must go on. So after week 13, we have some pretty interesting stuff. Liberty Professionals had a red card. However, they were able to win. On the third slide, you see that they beat Bicham United by 2-1. Elmina Sharks lost 2-0 against Kotoko. Dreams FC won 1-0 against 11 Wonders. Hartlepool vs Wafa has been postponed, while All Stars were beaten at home by Inter Allies. Karela FC 2-1 against Adriana Stars. And Karela have not beaten Hearts, they've beaten Kotoko, they've beaten Adriana Stars as well. Busan Dwarfs have won 2-0 against Ashgold. Brekum Chelsea 2-1 against Mediama, and of course those are the results at the moment. Okay, we'll show you the table. We're having a few technical issues. We'll show you the table before the end of this bulletin and also on the football show. The Black Stars are also in camp. By this time, 4 years ago, the whole country would have been feverish, getting ready and monitoring their preparations for the World Cup. This time, they are going to be playing in friendlies against Iceland and Japan. And here's a report on what they've been up to by Hans Mensah Ando of our desk.
Training has just concluded here at the Presec Park in Legon, second day of training for the Black Stars of Ghana. Now, yesterday, 6 players were present for the first day of training session, but 3 more have joined today. Isaac Saki, I beg your pardon, goalkeeper Richard Ofori and Mubarak Wakasu also joining in this afternoon. Training started at around 3:30 p.m. The players put through several training drills. It concluded with a mini game for them. All players participating in that particular training drill, they just warmed down as they concluded the second day of training. Their training sessions will continue up until Friday when the team will depart. And I understand that the remaining players will be joining the contingent that have made it to Ghana for the training session here. The remaining players will be joining them in Europe for them to continue preparation for those 2 games against Japan and Iceland.
Brazil are looking for yet another World Cup trophy. The last time they did so, Ronaldo was around, and they are confident that they can make history in Russia.
When Brazil walk out to start the campaign in Russia, it will be the final step in the country's 4-year journey to overcome a humbling 7-1 defeat to Germany in their home World Cup 4 years ago. Since Tite took over as coach in 2016, the 5-time world champions have again become a winning machine and were the first nation to qualify for Russia. The Selecao was so dominant in South American qualifying that they would have still secured a top spot without the points picked up in the 6 games played under Dunga before the coach was fired.
When Tite started with the national team, he had a group that nobody believed in. And with his work, he managed to rebuild the faith in this team. Tite stayed for some time here in Europe, learned a lot technically and tactically. He's a coach that can extract the maximum potential out of every single player. He gets a player to grow so that they can provide the maximum they can. For me, he's a great coach.
Striker Neymar, who missed the Germany humiliation in 2014 through an injury, is now racing to recover from a broken foot as he looks to guarantee himself a place on the plane to Russia. But even as Neymar's recovery hangs in the balance, there's still a feeling that Brazil aren't as reliant as they once were on the world's most expensive player.
When we improve the whole team, the individual quality of the team improve as well. So I think we have a team. Don't have 1 player or 2 player, and our mentality is like that, to play together. Of course, Neymar is a great player, everyone knows that, but I think if we play like a team, as a team, we can beat, I think, every team in the world.
Neymar isn't the only injury concern coming out of the French capital for the Brazilians. PSG defender Dani Alves, a veteran of 2 World Cups, sprained his right knee in the French Cup final and won't go to Russia. The Selecao will begin their hunt for a record 6th World Cup title with a game against Switzerland in Rostov-on-Don on the 17th of June. St. Petersburg will be the next destination. They play Costa Rica on the 22nd of June. And Brazil's final game in Group E will be against Serbia in Moscow on the 27th of June.
Just over 20 days to the World Cup, and England are getting ready. We heard in the last 24 to 36 hours that they had made Harry Kane their captain. Another key player who is expected to show his colours is Ruben Loftus-Cheek. He's pleased with his call-up to England's squad after his outstanding season with Crystal Palace.
He's always been touted as a potential talent. Despite having only 2 caps to his name, England manager Gareth Southgate named him in his 23-man squad. He impressed towards the end of the Premier League season, helping Crystal Palace avoid relegation, and described his inclusion in the England squad as surreal.
It's surreal. I didn't know what to think before, and I got the call, and I went straight to my family, and my family congratulated me. It was a nice moment, and to be on the verge of going to a World Cup is a lifelong dream for me, so I'm really happy.
England always head to tournaments with a weight of expectation. Despite the relatively inexperienced squad named by Southgate, Loftus-Cheek said it would be stupid to rule out England from winning the World Cup.
Yeah, of course. I think it'd be stupid to rule us out. I think we got to really good squad, and the squad's young and youthful, but we're all here on merit and how well we've done this season. And in training you look about and the talent is frightening. So we have a good chance, definitely.
England are in Group G alongside Belgium, Tunisia and Panama, and Loftus-Cheek insists he isn't afraid of anyone.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of any competition. I wouldn't be intimidated by any player or team, and I think that is fundamental in football if you want to do well. So
right, so we finish off with the Ghana Premier League table. Issues are sorted. Let's see what it looks like. Dreams FC and Medeama are top of the table, but Medeama have one game in hand, so they could extend to 26 points if they win. In their game, Karela FC, with the fantastic win against Aduana today, have 21 points and are in third. Ash Gold have slipped just a bit to fourth. Inter Allies are in fifth with that win. Asante Kotoko are in sixth. Wafa 7th. Elmina Sharks 8th. Brekum Chelsea 9th. Bichem United 10th. Hearts are outside the top 10. They have 2 more games to play. So with 15 points, they could potentially get into the 21 point zone around Karela, Ash Gold and Inter Allies and so on. The bottom 3, Ebusua Dwarfs, Aduana Stars, who have backloads of games still to play, and Wa All Stars, who are having a truly terrible season.